Now to the backlash over President Trump's huge profits from crypto projects while in office. He made $1.4 billion from crypto ventures last year, as his administration has also loosened rules on those markets. And yesterday, he debuted a new Air Force One jet gifted to him by the government of Qatar. That is raising questions, too. The president says his financial advisors oversee his investments. So let's talk about this with Major Garrett. So, Major, I want to ask you, he's been making all of this money from crypto while supporting crypto-friendly policies in office. Is that illegal or just controversial?
It is controversial. Remember, the president can't be investigated or prosecuted. That's now established Supreme Court precedent in this country. Also, with the settlement over his tax issues, he can't be audited. So the president is buffered from any kind of legal jeopardy here. But to answer this question, Vlad, I thought I would go back to the president's first inaugural address. Let me quote from it briefly. For too long, a small group in our nation's capital have reaped the rewards of government, while the people have borne the cost. Washington flourished, but the people did not share in the wealth. Why do I bring that up? Because I covered that campaign, and I well remember Donald Trump telling his supporters, to rapturous applause, he didn't have to get involved in politics. It was a sacrifice for him to do so. He could make more money if he stayed out of politics. Then he became president, and in that first term, he put a lot of guardrails around what his family business did or didn't do. In January 2026, Vlad, he told the New York Times, I'm not doing that the second term. I'm going to let my sons do whatever they want to do, cut whatever deals they want to do, because I got criticized for doing things the right way the first time. Well, if I'm going to get criticized, I'm going to make money for our family business. In essence, that's what he told the New York Times, and that's what's happening. Last year alone, President Trump made more money than he ever made in his entire business life, which was pretty successful. Meanwhile, wages for low-income workers, the forgotten people Trump was referring to in his first inaugural address, well, their real wages declined by 0.3%. That's a contrast that will have political weight in the midterms.
So that's a question, Major, that I had for you, as well as the president stress testing, I guess. When you take all of this plane from Qatar, the Supreme Court decisions that have expanded presidential authority, are we watching a president deliberately stress test the constitutional boundaries of his executive power?
100%. There is, and the president says this all the time. Again, to quote the president, I am moving things in a direction where the president is more powerful than he was, or the presidency is more powerful than it was before I came for a second term. That is intentional, whether it's on immigration policy, whether it is on other aspects of what the president can or can't do with quasi-independent agencies in the nation's capital, the federal bureaucracy itself. He is expanding the bounds of presidential power. And by taking that gifted jet, for him personally, he says it's a gesture from the Qatari government, but there's plenty of evidence, Vlad, that the White House intends for that jet to be a two-year use for this president and then very likely become an artifact and a tourist attraction at the president's presidential library. So it appears to be very much for him, not the country writ large. And in the president's words to the New York Times back in that interview in January 2026, I found out, directly quoting the president, people don't care about it. Well, we'll find out in the midterms.
We certainly will. Major Garrett, as always, we thank you.